So let's talk a little bit about engineering. Yeah, so if you are enthusiastic about cars, just like me, this is a video for you. Okay, so personally, I was always confused, like when I hear about someone says maybe an engine is 5 liters or 5.4 liters or 6 liters, 8 liters or something like, what does it really mean? And I believe this is not the first time you're going to hear it, and it's not the last time you're going to hear it either. Okay, so what does it really mean? You're talking about you're describing an engine either being, let's say for example, you're saying 5 liters. Okay, let me say 5 liters, 5 liters, or maybe you put it in terms of some other units whereby they say maybe it's some value. Let me say 5000 cc. I'm not sure if that exists, but I'm just trying to uh, make sense out of that. So, of course, L is for liters, cc is for cubic centimeters. Okay, so it's either we describe it in terms of liters or cubic centimeters. So, what we're trying to understand now is that how do we come up with these values in respect to, because each engine has its own. Okay, you hear that this one is 5 liters, the other one is 6 liters, 5.4 liters. We want to really know, like, we want to really understand how that comes about. Okay, so now what it is that when you're talking about engine capacity or displacement, as it is called, it's just simply you're just simply talking about the measurement of volume. Okay, it's simply the measurement of volume, and we've been talking about volumes. We talk about volumes almost everywhere. Volume of a cylinder, volume of a right circular cone or something. Yeah, we have been talking about volumes for a long period of time now. So what I have here in the picture is that this is like this is a cylinder that I have. Of course, we have the valves there. We have our spark plug here. Okay, that's our spark plug there. Okay, that's our spark plug there that we have. So now what it is that at from this point, okay, um, from this point right here, okay, to, let me say, okay, this here is what is called that is what is called the piston stroke. Okay, you can just call it the stroke, or let me say the piston stroke if I were to be to use engineering in my statements. So this is a piston stroke. Okay, that's a piston stroke that we have there. Then what you have right here is your what, is your cylinder bore, meaning it's more like it's your diameter. Okay, that's the diameter that you have. So what it is that maybe before I even continue, you might wonder to say, why is it really important for me to know, like, why should you be aware, or what is the importance of you um, being aware to say, okay, is this one 5 liters or is this 8 liters, and what's really the big difference? Because the importance of that is that when you know the difference, okay, you'll be well equipped with the information of about how much power does this engine, like how much power is it able to give you. Okay, so one thing that we need to understand is that larger engines burn more fuel and produce more power. So what it is that in an engine, an IC engine, call them IC engines, meaning internal combustion engine, is that a mixture of fuel and air is burned in those cylinders, making the piston to move up and down. Okay, so this piston that you have here, when when air and when a mixture of air and fuel is being burnt at this point, okay, this piston will be moving up and what, up and down. Okay, so it's more like you are going to have cycles. So the thing is that as this one is moving up and down, this is going to translate some motion to the what, to the crankshaft, which is at this point. Okay, which then gives us the motion that we have, like we see a vehicle moving, you see a motorbike moving, that's where that is coming from. So those cycles, as the piston is moving up and down, okay, it translates, it gives us that motion that we need, it translates the motion to what, to the crankshaft, which gives us the rotation that we need, and hence we have the car moving. Okay, so now the formula that we use or that is used to come up with for, like to help us to determine the engine capacity is simply, remember to say, I just spoke to say this is simply volume, so it's just more like you're saying engine capacity. I'm just going to say EC, engine capacity, will be equals to um, your pi, okay, say your pi here multiplied by, I'll say open bracket here, I'm going to say cylinder bore, okay, cylinder bore there, I not have enough space. Let me say cylinder bore, let me just put B here, okay, divide by 2 squared, okay, then I multiply this by what, by the piston stroke. I'll just say PS there. Then here what it is that I'm going to multiply it by the number of cylinders that you have. Remember to say you can have a 4-cylinder engine, 6-cylinder, you can have an 8-cylinder, or 12-cylinder, 16 or something. And those they are in terms of like you have configurations. It's either it's a V or it's a W configuration of an engine. And so I believe we see it. It's more like a V. You have it like that, something like that. So it's either it's a V12, you have a V8 or something, you have a 4-cylinder or something. Okay. So now here we're going to be multiplying by the number of cylinder. I'll just say number of what? Number of cylinders that you have. So this is going to give us the what? The engine capacity that we are looking for. Okay. So now, what about, we already said this part here is a cylinder bore. We have the diameter. Then here we have what? The piston stroke. And that's what you're going to replace there. But keep in mind to say here you have a diameter, hence that's why I'm dividing by 2 to give me the what? The volume. And this is not something we have not been doing. We have been doing this for a long period of time. We know how to determine the volume of a cylinder. It's simply what? Uh, sorry. It's just simply what? The area of the top part here, which is circular, of course, which is pi r squared multiplied by what? The height. And that is the volume there. Okay. So it's like you have, this is the volume of one cylinder. Okay. This is the volume of just one of these. But remember, in an engine, you have, that's why I said like you can have 4 of them, you can have 8 of them, you can have 12, you can have 16, and of course we use even numbers, like we use 4, 8, um, we use 12, we use 16, so on and so forth. But since this is just for one, we're just going to multiply by what? Then like the total, everything that you have, like all the cylinders, all the cylinders that you have. So what I'm going to do here is that we're going to look at an example, and I'm going to use I guess a vehicle that is very very interesting, which is this one right here, the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport. So yeah, it's a really cool one. Yeah. So the thing is that for this one, the engine specs that we have for this one is that it's the total displacement for this engine, which is the engine capacity. It's let me write here, the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport. Okay, it says SS there. The engine displacement is 8 liters. Okay, so one thing that we have, the other information that we have is that the cylinder, okay, the cylinder bore. Let me just try to simplify it for myself here. Let me just say cylinder bore CB is equals to um, 86 millimeters. Okay, 86 millimeters, which is the same as 3.39 inches. Okay, so what about the piston stroke? Okay, the piston stroke is also equals to 86 millimeters, which is also 3.39 inches. And I believe that's the information that we need. And by the way, this one has a W configuration, and it has a total number of 16 cylinders. It's a quad turbo engine. What does it mean by quad turbo engine? Basically, it means you have four turbochargers, and the more turbochargers that you have in an engine, the more horsepower that you have, the more torque that you have. And for such cars, speed is the way, I guess. Yeah. So what you're going to do here is that you're going to say, okay, we're going to try to see how they came up with that value there. So I'm going to use millimeters, okay, to come up with my engine capacity, or let me say the displacement. Then I'm going to convert it to liters. You can also put it in terms of cubic centimeters. It's still okay as well. So here I'm going to say I have my pi, okay, pi multiplied by um, my cylinder bore have been given 86, say divide by 2 squared, okay, multiplied by the piston stroke, which is also 86, multiplied by what else do we have? The number of cylinders. We have 16 cylinders here. Okay, and by the way, this engine has like it has 64 valves, where you have 4 valves per cylinder. So each cylinder has 4 valves, and like those valves, like you have the intake valve, the exhaust valve. I believe we talk about that like maybe a bit later in another video. Yeah. So here what we get is, say, 86 divided by 2, it gives us 43. Then squared, we get 1849 multiplied by 86, okay, multiplied by 16, multiplied by 3.142, which is my pi. What I get is 7,900 and 993.9. Oh, no, not point. It's actually um 7,993,951.808. Okay, this is simply uh, millimeter cubic. Okay, so I'm going to put this into liters. So the conversion factor here is that 1 liter, okay, is equals to 1 times 10 to the power 6 uh, millimeter cubic. So what it is here is that I'm just going to divide that value by 1 exponential 6. What I get is a 7.993951808 liters. And of course, you round off to the nearest, that's going to give you at 8.0 liters, and that's where that is coming from. Okay, so you might find that maybe somewhere they have put it as 7.99 liters. It's still one and the same thing. Okay, still one and the same thing. So that's how that value is, like, that's why we have 8. I mean, that's why we have 8 liters for the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport in terms of the engine capacity. So you can also, of course, present that in terms of cubic centimeters. Okay, in terms of cubic centimeters. So we should just remember to say 1 liter is equals to 1 liter is equals to, is it 1000? Yeah, 1000 cubic centimeters. So that the value that we have, we multiply by 1 exponential 3, which is 1000. We simply end up with the 7,993.9518, and you can round off that value cc. So you can hear someone describing like the engine capacity as cc or as liters. So that's how that comes about. So that's all I thought of talking about in this tutorial. In case there's anything, of course, engineering related that you'd want us to profile, um, leave it in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.